Hello, welcome back. In this session, we are going to understand what are the temporary table variables and how it is going to be useful in the body of a stored procedure. And you can use the table variables not only in the stored procedure, you can also use in table functions. In our previous session, we saw the declare statement to declare a variable x. So we'll understand more deeply how the table variables are going to be defined and their effect. Okay, so basically there are two ways to declare a table variable. One is the explicit method and the second one is derived. Okay, so first we'll see the explicit method, then later we'll see the derived option. So the explicit method is explicitly we need to declare a variable. So explicitly declare a variable, we use this one. So declare x. So declare x, and instead of one single value I can use table, and here we need to mention the columns in the table. For example, I, integer, amount, decimal, 10, 2, something like that. So here the declare statement is going to declare a variable, and x is a variable and it's a type of table, and the table columns here we mentioned. So this is one way, and you can also declare a variable by using table function, table type. So declare x and use table type. So table types we'll see in the next session. So for now, please understand that instead of writing this table and then columns into the individual columns in the table, you can simply mention the table type here, so that the x variable will replicate this table type as a variable. And that is one way. And if you want to assign a default value for the table variable, simple, mention the keyword default and then select star from some table, so that the select star from some table, all the fields and rows are going to assign to this table x by default. That means you are initializing the variable. And not only the default value, you can also assign you can also mention a constant. Table variable can also flagged as read only by using a keyword constant. So to do that, declare x and then mention constant here, and then a table type. You can use either table type, or you can exclusively mention table and their column names. And you can, so remember one thing important. So when you are making the read only, if you are making a variable read only by using a constant keyword, it is always mandatory to assign default value, because what it makes to use the default mandatory is the read only variable in the body of a procedure, you cannot change this variable data anymore. So it's going to be constant. That's the reason you have to mention default value for a constant table variable. Okay, so instead of going through all this theory, let's see how what is the difference between declare and explicit variables. Okay, so let's create a procedure. So I'll take from this. I'll take from the previous one, and I'm going to, instead of all this table and all, so I'll make it simple to understand the variables exactly. So TV means a temporary variable. I'm just abbreviation of temporary variable, some explicit method. So temporary variable, explicit method we are seeing now, and I'm going to assign just out results and table with simple num integer, one single column as a output parameter, and parameter name is results. And language, SQL script, everything is same. And here begin, end. We are going to write some statements here. So it's explicit method we are seeing. So declare temporary table variable TTV, you can say TTV, and table num integer. So you'll understand once I finish this code. TT is equal TTV is equal temporary table variable. I am assigning value select one from dummy. So I am assigning one value to the temporary variable which is declared exclusively of the type table, and it is having one single column of integer. Okay. And I'll pass this temporary variable data into the results. Results is equal select star from. When you are referring a temporary variable, you need to mention colon TTV. Okay. So what I am doing here, I declared a variable of TTV of type table, and num is a column name, and data type is integer, and I am sending a value 1 to the temporary variable, and I am taking the value from temporary variable into the results because it's a temporary table variable, right? So I need to write a select statement, select star from TTV. Okay, that's good. Let's create this procedure, and then we'll change further later. Okay, return type mismatch. Okay, attribute name. Okay, so here I need to mention one as num. Okay, success. And I am going to call this procedure TV explicit, and output parameter we need to get, so question mark. So we passed value 1 and we got the value 1. Okay, so now what I will do, I will make one more begin end block here. Okay, then I'll declare the statements once again. So this time I'll pass value 2, and I'll pass the results also. Okay, so what exactly I'm doing here is, we have declared one begin end block and another begin end block, and outside of this begin, so 2 times we declared a variable TTV, same variable I declared here, and I am passing value 2 in the inner loop and in the inner block, and value 1 in the outer block. Okay, now we'll run this statement. We'll see which value is going to assign to the results. Still it is 1. So that means when you declare a variable exclusively and that variable is visible only in that particular block, so this is a block begin end, so I am declaring a variable TTV and which is visible within this block. But when you create another block and you declare another variable, and this TTV value is going to be visible within this block. So if you are declaring a variable exclusively, that is visible within the same block. It's not a global value. Global means in the same session, same block. So by using declare, it's kind of local to that block only. So that's what you need to understand. Okay, let's see derived type. So instead of declaring a variable manually, so I'll make this variable comment declaration. So this TTV this time is going to automatically create when we pass a value from right side select statement. So I am passing value 1 from the right side. Automatically, based on the data type, this variable is going to be defined, and immediately it will store the value of that right side select statement value into the variable. So again here I am doing same. I am passing value 2 to the variable, and based on this output, this table variable is going to be defined and store the value. So let's create this new function, and you will understand how it is going to be. So this time I will use derived. Okay, sorry for the background noise if you are hearing anything. Okay, so this procedure is created. Now I am going to call this procedure. What happened? Invalid name or okay, sorry. Okay, so here this time we got a value 2. So before that, when we use the declared explicit method, we got 1. When we use the derived type, we got value 2. So that means when you declare exclusively, that is visible for that only particular block, but when you use the derived method, it's going to visible globally. That means not only within the begin and end block, it will be visible for the across the body of the procedure. So that's why, so first time it assigned with 1, then it assigned with 2, and here we are passing result select star from TTV to results. That means we are passing 2, and again here we are passing another value, but this is referring TTV, so the TTV is holding value 2 only. So it will forget the value 1 which assigned earlier. It will store the value 2 and it will assign 2 times. So second time also we got the value 2. That's why we are seeing the value 2. So when the table variable is derived its type from this SQL statement, SQL compiler is going to decide the type of that variable, and based on the first assignment of value to that variable. So this provides us greater flexibility. No need to declare any variable or any table and with multiple columns. So based on the select statement, automatically it gets declared. But the problem with this derived type is it's going to do lot of type conversions in the background when you run this statement. So that will take some performance issues. So to avoid that performance issues, if you are sure about what you are going to do, then use the declare statement to declare a variable explicitly, then assign the value. If you are not sure about what type of value is going to be derived, then use a derived method. So this is very important to understand. That's why I am making this statement again and again. So if you declare a variable that is visible within that block, it's not possible to access from the outside of that block. Like here, this is one block and we are trying to access here and it's not visible. And if you use a derived type, then it will be visible across all the blocks. So that's what you need to understand. Okay, so we will see the table type method in the next session. Until then, happy learning. Bye.